Hey guys, welcome back to the DrCliffAuD vlog. This is vlog number 127, and thank you so much for actually joining me on the vlog today. A lot of you are already aware that I'm going to be making a big announcement in this vlog if you watched my vlog from last week. But before I get into the announcement, if you could do me a huge favor, click that like button, let me know that you like this type of content. And if you are not yet subscribed to the channel with notifications turned on, go ahead and do that as well, because that ensures that you do not miss any of my newly released videos. And I release a lot of videos every single week. So with that out of the way, before I actually get into the announcement, I need to give you a little bit of a history about what I've been up to. So a lot of you are probably aware that I started my YouTube channel back in July of 2017. I think it was like June or July. I'm not really sure of the exact date. In fact, I want to say that I maybe even posted my first video on my birthday, which was June 27th of 2017. And I think that's right, but nonetheless, I've been creating videos, 2 videos a week, maybe even 2 to 3 videos a week, and now I think it's maybe up even higher than that, ever since that time. And you know, it took a little while to get some traction there, but eventually I got it to the point where I was creating enough video content and high quality video content to where people were actually watching it and subscribing to it, and that's probably why you're here right now. But essentially I've been doing this for just over 5 years at this point, have a video library of like 560 videos or something ridiculous like that. And it's just kind of crazy to see how far everything has come. Well, a lot of you are also probably aware that in October of 2019, so about 2.5 years after I started my channel, or 2.25 years after I started my channel, I actually started the DrCliffAuD Approved Provider Network. So this was a network of hearing care professionals that I vetted to be following best practices. So if you've been watching my content, you know that I am a staunch advocate of providing best practice audiologic care, because that's the only way to ensure that you're receiving the maximum amount of benefit from your hearing aids. There's a whole list of different procedures, and I have those best practice checklists on my website if you want to check them out. But I've really been an advocate for that ever since I got into the profession, because I feel like a lot of individuals with hearing loss are not actually hearing their best because they've never had best practices completed on their hearing aids or with them when they're going through hearing treatment. And that really bothered me. So that's kind of what the impetus was behind me starting this network. Plus, I had people contacting me from all over the country saying, hey, who do I go into to find a hearing care professional that does the things that you talk about in your videos? And I'm like, I have no idea. I know that some people are nice providers, but I don't know if they follow best practices. So I really needed to have a way so I could identify if providers were following best practice audiologic care. So after about 1.5 years or so, or about 1.25 years of having the DrCliffAuD Approved Provider Network, I actually conducted a rebrand over to the Best Practice Pro Network. And the reason that I made that rebrand is because I felt like these providers didn't need my approval. They were all more experienced audiologists than me. A lot of them have been following best practices even before I came along. I just wanted to have a network to basically say, hey, individual with hearing loss, here is someone who actually follows the best practices that I talk about on my channel. But I didn't really like this idea that people felt like they needed to be approved by me, because they did not need to be approved by me. So that's why I actually switched it to the Best Practice Pro Network. And then we ran with the Best Practice Pro Network ever since that time. And it's been extremely beneficial for individuals with hearing loss, because now they can just go to my website and actually say, hey, okay, so I live in New York. Here are the Best Practice Pro members in New York. I can go to one of them and actually receive a higher level of care than I can if I just go down the street to whatever the local provider is without knowing if that provider follows best practices. So it was extremely beneficial. The problem with the network, though, is that we ran into trademark issues, right? Not only was it, a very narrow scope of practice, meaning like I only talked about best practices with it, but it had trademark issues because Best Practice Pro is very generic. There can be best practices in any profession, and so I actually tried to file for trademark and it was not successful. And so that is not a good thing from a brand perspective moving forward. You really want to have a brand that you can trademark. And so I was not able to trademark the Best Practice Pro brand, and that kind of left us vulnerable to having other companies, other organizations, whatever, kind of hijack the messaging that I was spreading. And so ultimately, and it took a lot of time to kind of think of this and to come to this decision, but the big announcement here is that for the second time, we are going to change the brand, and this is the last time that I'm going to change the brand. We are changing the brand to HearingUp. So it is going to be the HearingUp Network. I'm really excited about this change, if I'm being quite honest with you. I think that not only is this a better brand, it's more short and to the point. It's something that we can actually get trademarked. We've already filed for the trademark, and that should not have any issues. We're working with a really good trademark attorney with that. But it is going to allow us to not just trademark it, but actually expand the things that we're talking about. And think of it this way. When we had the Best Practice Pro Network, we were really, like I said, pigeonholed into just the discussion of best practices with these network members. But I want to expand it. I want to talk a lot more about technology on HearingUp, and I want to talk more about person-centered care with the HearingUp Network. Like, these are very important aspects about treating hearing loss as well, and even though best practices are substantially more important than the technology that you use, technology is still important, and I don't want to be just relegated to only being able to talk about best practices when it comes down to the benefit of going to one of these network members. On top of that, we're going to put all of this on HearingUp.com. So the new home of the HearingUp Network is going to be on HearingUp.com. To tell you the truth, BestPracticePro.com, when I first tried to purchase it, it was after I filed my trademark application, and someone else, I guess there's companies out there that this is what they do. If you file a trademark for a name and you do not own the domain, they purchase that domain. So that was an issue that we ran into with the Best Practice Pro Network as well. But we do not have that issue with HearingUp.com. Now, this website, HearingUp.com, is officially live. So what I want you to do is go and check out the website. Let me know what you think. I'm sure there's going to be a few little bugs that are on there. Come back and let me know what those are so I can share them with the web developer so he can go in and fix all of those bugs. But it's all brand new. I'm going to be adding more and more content to this on a regular basis. I really want the HearingUp Network to be something that is really, really, substantial inside of the profession and actually encourages more hearing care professionals to follow best practice audiologic care. And then the rest of HearingUp.com will have a bunch of information kind of explaining why high quality hearing care is the most important thing when it comes down to your hearing treatment. Now, if you watched last week's vlog, you do also know that I hired a content manager. That's because I want to create more and more content for you guys. Now, if you ask me like what my goals are overall from a professional standpoint, it's to make sure that as many individuals who have hearing loss get the help that they actually need and get high quality help, not just this crummy help that you get from a lot of different places out there. I want you to experience what best practices are. I want you to experience what person-centered care is. Both of these are extremely important when it comes to success with hearing treatment. And at the end of the day, I just want to help as many people as humanly possible from a hearing perspective. And so that's why I'm spending so much time, money, and effort creating this platform so you know where you can go to receive high quality hearing treatment, and so you know where you can go to learn about high quality hearing treatment. So that's what HearingUp.com is, that's what HearingUp Provider Network is, and I really hope that it's something that's beneficial. We've gone through some rough patches in the past. There have been hearing care professionals who have said really mean things about what I'm trying to do. I have always been open and honest about that members pay a fee to actually be inside the network. They go through the entire vetting process and then they basically sign up for their membership to be in the network so they can actually have patients find them because they've been vetted and they follow best practices. I've taken the majority of that money and reinvested it into spreading this message, but at the end of the day, we've even put disclaimers on the website saying, hey, members actually pay to be in this network. But no matter what I do, there's always going to be some individuals who do not like what I'm trying to accomplish here inside of this profession. But I think by and large, if I am holding true to my values and doing what I believe to be in the best interest of individuals with hearing loss, I feel like what I'm doing is actually doing the right thing by you guys. So I do want you guys to know that I really appreciate everything that you've done for me. I am not sitting here in this position, even talking about this network and talking about this brand change if you have not supported me along the way. So there's probably those of you who started watching my video content all the way back in 2017, and here we are 5 years later, and we're still doing the content, and we're still doing a lot of content. And to be honest with you, I never knew if this was going to take off. I thought that there was some potential that after a year no one was watching the content, so we just stopped it completely. But I was essentially proven correct that individuals with hearing loss wanted more and better information to make better informed decisions about their own hearing treatment. And so I just want to let you know that concept of appreciation is not lost on me. I do appreciate every single one of you for watching this video, especially because this to me was a big deal. This brand change to me was a big deal, even though maybe you don't see this as a big deal. This is something that's big for me, for my family, for individuals with hearing loss, and for the members inside of the HearingUp Network. So I want to thank you so much for, again, watching this vlog. There will be more information coming out about this. I'm looking forward to the feedback that you guys have for me about HearingUp.com. And as always, guys, I will see you next week.